Welcome back to another episode of the Book of Alpharonomy, where we embrace all of the principles of manhood and masculinity so that men around the world can finally re-grasp their alpha energy. Let's do that now. I overheard a couple of women talking, not because I was eavesdropping, but because they obviously weren't concerned with anyone over here in their conversation. It wasn't a private conversation. They were just talking. And one woman was saying how after her last relationship, where she was cheated on many times, that she was saving herself for a man who would want her and only her. And when I thought about that, I sympathized with the woman because she has an expectation of something to happen that is probably not going to happen. Unless she's going to deal with a man who's so old that he barely has enough libido to handle one woman. That is going to be her option. But if she's looking for a young, vibrant man who is in his prime and has options, who is desired, she's just not going to get that. And I realized that social media and mass media and, YouTubers and, novelists and you name it, they have all convinced women that this is something that they deserve. But the problem is you cannot convince yourself you deserve something that's impossible to attain. You simply can't. So now I'll get into the topic that I know is bantered back and forth all of the time between men and women, between men and men, between women and women. And that is, why do all men cheat? Now, let me clarify something, because I've heard men say men don't cheat, men can't cheat. And there may be a small bit of truth to that, but what we are talking about is a man who is in a situation where he has lied to a woman and told her that he is committed to her and only her, and they will be in a monogamous relationship, and he will not deal with other women. She is all he needs. If that man then sneaks around, creeps around like a child, and goes behind that woman's back and does the very things that he said he wouldn't do, yes, he is a cheater. He is a liar. He is a deceiver. He is not a man who deserves to stand up and call himself a true man. Because a true man stands on his own principles. He does what he wants to do, and he does not hide his actions. He doesn't throw a rock and bust a glass and then put his hand behind his back and say, where did that come from? So yes, if you're a man who is in that situation, you did cheat on a woman. Own up to it. Accept the fact that you were not the man you claim to be. And that is not my opinion. That is a fact. Now that we've clarified that, let's talk about some of the reasons that all men in relationships cheat. The first thing that women must understand and accept is that you as a woman only prioritize your man when it's easy. In the beginning, it's easy. It's new. You two don't live together. You two don't occupy each other's space. You set certain times that you're going to meet, and so you can log it in on your schedule. You can plan it in your planner the day that you're going to be with your man. And you can do that for 24 hours, or even if it turns into a 36-hour thing where there's a sleepover. You can do that. It's easy to do that because then you get to go back to your life, the one you created for yourself to enjoy. You get to go back to your selfish life. But as things start to develop and become more serious, and you two start to spend more and more time together where it requires a little bit more effort, you're starting to feel the pressure of performing, of being pleasing to that man. And initially, it's no big deal because, as I said, the novelty is still there. Every step is a novel step. So when you meet someone and start dating, that's a novel step. You just met the guy, everything is novel. The novelty is there, the excitement is there, the draw is there, the learning experience, the excitement that comes from the learning experience is there. Once you get past that phase and you decide that you're going to date exclusively or any other step that you make on up to cohabitation. Cohabitation is the final step that you can make. If you're already cohabitating, marriage doesn't even bring any more excitement to the scenario. Cohabitation is the final step of every relationship. Relationships can go no further than cohabitation. Everything else is just window dressing. If you get engaged after you're cohabitated, that's just window dressing. If you get married after you're already cohabitating, it's just window dressing. It changes nothing. The scenario is already etched in stone. And at that point, that is when women start to prioritize and pedestalize their man less. Think about this. There are always conversations in the media, on talk shows, online, you name it, where there is a problem in a relationship because the man wants more sex than the woman is willing to give. It is not because the woman doesn't like sex, it is because she does not prioritize sex. And not prioritizing sex means you don't prioritize the desires of your man. It's not that he wants sex so much, it's the fact that you don't prioritize the fact that that is a need he has that needs to be met. So a woman will say, I work and then I come home and then I deal with the children and then I have to, my mom is sick, I have to take care of my mom, and then, my friends, I don't want to lose my friends and lose myself in a relationship, and then when I get there, then I got to cook dinner, and then I'm just tired. I'm too tired to have sex. And they say that as if that is something that a man should understand. What you're saying is, I have a lot of things in my life and I prioritize them in order of importance. And you and your needs, your sexual needs, are at the very bottom of that list because I don't value your needs. That is what a woman is saying to her man in that particular situation. Now, a woman doesn't view it that way, but I am telling you that is how we view it as men. We are wondering why this woman that we've agreed to be in this situation with, this monogamous situation with, is not valuing the fact that monogamy means that you will take care of my needs so I won't have the urge to get them met anywhere else. Women don't understand men. That is the main problem. Women don't want to understand men. Women want men to understand them. Women want men to buy into their program and make whatever necessary adjustments are needed.